Hello and welcome back. In the last screencast, we added users to our post, so we'll be able to tie the users to the post, see what user created what posts. In this screencast, we're going to be talking about just an introduction to Rails routing, and I'll also show you where to get more information on this at the end of this screencast. Okay, so if you want to follow along, this project has got at least 20. Well, let me see. It's got a lot of videos so far. I have a total of 23 videos on my webpage. If you go to Zambezi screencasts, it's zambezi.app. You will see where we have all these screencasts. Right now we're at screencast number 22, but let me show you where it starts. It starts with the introduction to Rails. Right there, screencast number 11 is the beginning of this project. Screencast number 11. Okay, so that's where you would start if you wanted to start and follow along. If you want to see the repository, go to github.com/kcny. That's my webpage on GitHub. Click on repositories and then go to blog 22, where you can clone or download the project there and follow along. Okay, so next let's talk about routes. First of all, let's go to the route file. And let me just split this. It's going to pop up on the left. So let's go to, it's under config, econfig, and then route. Right. So the config folder is in your root, in the root of your project, and the route is inside the config. And let me just show you the tree there in case you are in a different text editor such as Sublime or Atom or Brackets, etc. So this is what it looks like in a different text editor. I'm going to close my tree so we can see a little more of the files. So I'm going to just quit that. All right. So let's talk about these routes. So what routes do is they examine the URL of an incoming request, and they also determine what actions need to be taken by the application. So in other words, routes are the entrance point to a Rails application. They tell the Rails app where to find the code to handle the incoming requests. So how does it do this? So let's look at number 5, line number 5 on the left there. You see we have a get posts about. So that's the route there. And then if we go to, the action is going to be in the controller. So let's go to eController, pages, and then we want the pages controller. There it is. And then to get to it, if you are wondering how I got to it, it's app controllers, pages controller, and we see at the top there we have the about. All right. So the way to view the routes that we have is to go to type in Rails routes. So if you type in Rails routes, you will see all the routes that you currently have. And we should be able to see them in a few seconds here. Okay, there we go. So these are all the routes that we have. So at the top there, these are all the device routes. If you look on the right, you will see the action, controller action. This is the action coming from the controller. And all of these are from device. Let's look at ours, which are posts. If you look at posts, okay, so what we have is the URL here. We put this in our URL. This is the helper, and then the get. What get does is it is just getting something from the database, or we're maybe just getting a static page, and we're not doing anything with it. With posts, we are going to be doing something with the data that we're getting from the database. So we're requesting for something, we might want to edit it or we delete it. So that's when we use posts. So we have an easier place to go to read this is in the UI in our browser. So let's hop into our browser here, and then we'll see the same thing, but it'll be easier to read. So at the top there, you can see we have the path. and this path is going to be in our views. We have the HTTP verb, the get, we have post, we have delete, get, and we'll read more about this right here at the end of this. So you can go to railsguides.org.routing and you can read more about these the routes. So let's move on to where this code is. Let's start with post. So we want to just talk about post. So we can type in post. This will let me hit return. Let's try it again. Let's refresh that. Okay, my server is not running, so let me just go and fire up the server. Rails S. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let's clear that. Rails S. Okay, now that the server is running, let's go back here, hit refresh, and then we will get the routes. Okay, now we wanted to just look at posts. Okay, there we go. So post path will take us to index. And where is this? So the post path, this one here, this is the helper method that is going to be in our view. So if we go to our text editor, then let's just look at the views. Let's just find some views to look at. So let's try to go to views, posts, and then let me look at the show. Okay, if we look at show here, we will see line 14 is the back button, and that's all it's doing is going to the index page. So if we click on the back button, it'll use the post helper method to take us back to the index page. And why are we saying it's the index page? Because it's telling us right here, this is the action that will be taken to take us back to the index page. And let's see exactly where this is. Here we are looking at the first post on the show page. If we hit the back button, it will take us to the index page. Before we click on it, look at the bottom left. You will notice that it says localhost/posts, localhost 3000/posts. It's showing us the path that we are going to be taking to. So there we go. And here is the index page. Now let's go back to the routes. If we look at the routes right here, you see it says /posts. That's where it took us, /posts. And that is to the path that we use. So let's try something else. Let's say we want to create something new. We want to create a new post. That new post, we're going to use this helper method in our URI. And then to get to it, we go to a post/new, and then the action is going to be the new. So let's go here. And then we have a link already here. So look at the bottom left again. It says post/new. If we click on it, we'll have post/new, and then we are able to create a new post. Let's go back. Let's go back again, and then for show and edit are different because we need to have we are only dealing with one post, so we have to have the actual post. Like here it's /post1, where we are seeing the first post, and then with edit we are taking the first post and then we're going to edit it. Now let's look at the routes for these two. So here's the edit. So we go to edit post path, and then we have /posts. Remember, we have the /id was the number 1, and then edit. We're going to edit the first post, which is what we're doing here. We're editing the first post. /post/1/edit. Okay, so and the final one was the post, the show. So the show is right here. Let me see where it is. Here's the show, same thing, but this time it's just the show ID /ID. That's the difference. So if we go here and we just want to see the ID. Okay, so we have seen where these the path is. We have seen where to. Well, this is from our URI. This is us go. This is the user going /posts, and then these verbs are coming from the routes. And these action are also we're using the routes to tell the application where to go. Okay, so let me go here. Then if we just look at, you can go to the post controller, look at the posts controller, and you can see exactly what we've been talking about. And then you can learn more about routes. So in the interest of time, I'm gonna wrap this up and I'll show you what I had talked about. The website to go to would be to go to Rails guides/routing, and you'll learn more about routes. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.